Before enlightenment, there was a question that wouldn't let go. What happens when comfort can't protect you from reality? They tried to seal him inside youth, health, and certainty. A prince was born, Siddhartha, into a life designed to avoid pain. Some predicted greatness. The king heard danger and tightened control.
He trained like a warrior, yet his attention looked inward. Even as a child, compassion showed up in small, quiet choices.
Joy surrounded him, yet something felt unfinished.
Outside the walls, life kept happening. Messy, unpredictable, real.
If desire is fed, it grows. The palace became a golden cage. He noticed effort, fatigue, and the hidden cost of comfort. Love entered his life, beautiful, human, and still not an answer.
He tried to settle into happiness, but questions kept returning.
When the mind won't rest, even luxury feels like noise.
Protection can become separation until truth feels foreign.
He started asking simple questions. How do you endure your days? He learned the first lesson. Watch the mind. Don't obey it.
Stillness wasn't escape. It was seeing clearly for the first time. Different century, same mind. Chasing comfort, fearing loss.
He sensed fragility everywhere. Life depending on conditions. The more he questioned, the more they tried to distract him. Beauty rose into the sky, yet his heart stayed on the ground. He began to see pleasure's ending, how quickly it turns to silence.
Everything beautiful changes. That's not pessimism, it's honesty.
One request changed everything. Take me outside the walls. A simple ride, yet it carried him toward the truth of suffering. For the first time, he saw life unfiltered, raw, and unscripted.
Age wasn't a story. It was a fact, written into every body.
Will this happen to me? To all?
We pretend time is optional until it shows up on our skin.
Then he saw illness, how control dissolves in a single breath.
Channa feared the king's anger. Siddhartha feared ignorance more. Then death, final, unavoidable, the end of every promised tomorrow.
He didn't look away. He let the truth land. Channa said, "All that arises will pass." Siddhartha heard a door open.
And then, someone who didn't run from reality, but faced it.
Peace wasn't found by hiding. It was trained, step by step. He went back, not to forget, but to decide what a life is for.
After seeing suffering, the old pleasures couldn't hypnotize him anymore. The palace looked the same, yet he had become someone else.
Love remained, but he couldn't unsee what he'd seen.
A son was born, Rahula, binding him to a life he was about to leave. He wasn't running from love. He was running toward understanding.
Some choices break your heart because your values finally speak louder.
He chose renunciation, not as drama, but as clarity. In the deepest night, he left everything familiar behind. Not to escape responsibility, but to find a way beyond suffering. Every hoofbeat asked the same question: what is freedom? At the edge of a river, a new life began. He gave up symbols of status so he could meet reality directly.
This wasn't punishment. It was a reset. No role, no costume.
My lord, please reconsider. The kingdom needs you.
He stayed gentle, yet his decision had the weight of truth.
Even goodbyes can be an act of compassion. Alone, yet finally honest with his own mind. He became a seeker, not of comfort, of understanding. He sought teachers who claimed mastery over the mind. He learned deep concentration, states of calm beyond ordinary thinking.
He could quiet the mind, but the root problem still remained.
You are ready to lead, Siddhartha. I am grateful, teacher, but it is not enough. He saw that peace can be temporary, so he kept walking, because he refused a half answer. Again he learned, again he tested, again it fell short.
Some teachings inspire, fewer transform.
He turned to extreme discipline, hoping pain could burn away pain. He tried the hardest path because he was completely sincere.
For years, he pushed the body to the edge, seeking a breakthrough.
But suffering, added suffering. It didn't end it. At the brink, he faced a simple fact. This isn't the way.
Help arrived as ordinary generosity, not a miracle, just humanity.
He ate, not to indulge, but to live enough to see clearly. They left. But he didn't quit. He finally changed strategy. Strength returned, not as luxury, as balance. He would not rise until he saw the cause of suffering directly. The battle wasn't outside. It was craving, fear, and identity. We fight the same war, distraction versus presence. He didn't suppress the mind. He understood it.
As the night ended, something in him stopped clinging.
And with dawn, awakening, seeing things as they truly are.
Awakening wasn't magic. It was clarity, free from grasping. He saw craving as a cause and release as a possibility.
Freedom looked like untying, not winning.
Then came a new question. Can this be taught? He hesitated because truth is subtle and people cling to easy stories.
I don't know how to stop spiraling.
But suffering is everywhere, so compassion becomes urgency.
He chose to share the path, without force, without promises.
He walked toward those who once abandoned him, the 5 ascetics.
They vowed not to greet him. Then they noticed something different. Not charisma, presence. A mind no longer at war with itself.
When the heart relaxes, wisdom has room to enter.
He mapped suffering, its cause, its ending, and the path.
The first community formed, built on practice, not worship.
A community is just people training together, again and again.
They called him Buddha, the awakened, because his mind had woken up.
He taught by example, simplicity, ethics, and attention.
Thank you.
Giving wasn't buying blessings. It was training the heart in generosity.
His message was practical. Understand craving. Cultivate compassion.
He didn't erase pain. He showed a way to relate to it wisely.
When the mind stops stirring, clarity appears on its own.
Impermanence isn't depressing. It's what makes change possible.
Loss teaches the same lesson. Don't cling to what moves.
Wisdom isn't winning arguments. It's seeing the self as a process.
Life continues by conditions, without a permanent, unchanging me.
Actions have echoes. That's karma, cause and effect, not fate.
Teaching showed up as behavior. Less harm, more understanding. Awakening didn't remove humanity. It refined it.
Support arrived, and places of practice were built. Simple, open, quiet.
The point wasn't buildings. It was training the mind together. Different spaces, same need. A place to remember what matters. Right speech, truthful, kind, timely, words that reduce suffering. One mindful pause can change an entire conversation.
He met grief with truth and tenderness, never with false guarantees.
Birth and loss belong to the same unfolding.
He pointed beyond labels, because suffering doesn't ask your status.
Mind can be trained, or it will be trained by anger. Practice wasn't only sitting, it was every step, every breath. His compassion wasn't sentimental, it was steady and fierce.
And day after day, the path spread quietly through practice.
The world kept changing, weather, politics, bodies, yet practice stayed available.
He didn't deny suffering. He met it with clarity and care.
Bad news isn't new. The question is, what do we do with it?
Holding anger is like gripping fire. Your hand burns first. Reconciliation isn't weakness. It's strength trained by compassion.
Freedom needs structure, ethics, attention, and honest reflection.
Repairing cloth is also repairing the habit of carelessness.
Practice turns damage into wisdom if you stay present.
Years passed. His body aged. His compassion didn't retire.
He reminded them, rely on the Dharma, not on my personality.
Even close disciples struggled with change, because love clings too.
The teaching stayed simple. Lessen harm, steady the mind, open the heart.
Everything conditioned arises, and when conditions fade, it ceases.
You can interrupt the chain, right in the moment you notice.
Toward the end, he traveled still, teaching while the body weakened.
Are you all right, Master?
He showed them aging firsthand, without panic, without denial.
Care continued. Community held him, as he had held them.
All conditioned things are impermanent. Practice diligently.
Endings are universal. The difference is whether we wake up before them.
At Kushinagar, he lay down calmly, showing a final lesson.
Even beauty falls. Even this moment passes.
Grief rose, but so did understanding. Love without possession.
He wasn't taken away. He simply let go, completely.
Parinibbana, the final extinguishing of grasping, not a heaven.
Not disappearance, release from the fire of craving.
They preserved the Dharma, so the path wouldn't depend on one person.
Now, gently close your eyes and breathe.
The legacy became practice, ethics, meditation, wisdom, daily.
You don't need a palace or a forest. You need one honest minute.
Awakening begins in small acts: attention, kindness, restraint.
A path is just repeated choices until they become your character.
Even his story points beyond itself. Nothing to cling to.
Your identity is a draft. You can revise it with practice.
Notice craving. Name it. Breathe. Choose a kinder next step.
This is the Dharma in daily life, the pause that prevents harm.
Compassion isn't abstract. It's food, listening, patience, presence.
One breath, one bead, one moment again.
The Buddha's life became a mirror, what you are and what you can train.
No matter your life, you can practice. Stop, breathe, see clearly.
He's gone. The path remains, walking itself through your choices.
Start where you are. Lessen harm, grow kindness, train the mind.